Tell me something. Have you ever sat on the couch next to your spouse and you felt like you're sitting next to like a coworker or somebody instead of the person that you promised your life to? The two of you talk about stuff like bills, the kids, the schedule for tomorrow, and maybe even talk about groceries and what you need for the refrigerator. But that heart part, that connection, the you and me part, it feels like it's gone. Deep down, you're wondering, how did we get here? How did the person that I used to laugh with, dream with, stay up all night with and talking to, turn into someone that I barely feel connected to? If that feeling hits you hard, stay right here. Because by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly how marriages slip into this cold roommate dynamic and why it feels so numb and what you can start doing today to rebuild that connection again. Real partnership, real presence, not the fake we live together so I guess we're married, but a real routine. And let me ask you straight up. Do you ever look at your spouse and think, if a stranger walked in the door right now, came in from outside, would they even know we're a couple? Some of you think that this is a situation where you're all by yourself, that everybody else's household is running smoothly, and you're the one that just can't seem to get it right. But I'm telling you, in a lot of situations, if not most situations, that's a facade. There are so many people that are experiencing exactly what you're feeling right now. So many. Believe me when I tell you, I have been working for years as a marriage coach. I'm telling you. Many couples, and even many couples that you know, are going through the same situation. They're just not going to tell you. So don't feel like you're all by yourself, because you're not. This isn't something that's strange, and this is something actually that, if you ask me, I believe that it was something that was woven into our society in the indoctrination that we took coming up, that causes us to pretty much run by this. Each couple runs by this situation at some point in time. Some stay longer than others. But this is something that was woven into what we do to make it so that we have to cross that bridge. And this is what I want to talk to you today about. Now, the solution is really not complicated. It's not something that you need therapy for, as some people believe. It's not emotional gymnastics. It's understanding a few simple truths about how love fades and how to regrow that connection. Once you see them clearly, you'll be able to shift your marriage from passive to action, from distant to close, and from roommates to real partners again. So stay with me. But before I jump both feet into the pond or the water or whatever it is that we say, I want to tell you why this is important. And as usual, we're going to go through those same lenses: the personal lens, the community lens, and the future lens. All right? So in terms of the personal lens, when your spouse becomes a roommate, you start living life on autopilot. You go through the motions without feeling anything. You lose that warmth that used to be there. You question yourself. You feel frustrated. You feel lonely. Or what's even worse, you start to feel numb. And that numbness is so dangerous. It convinces you that it's not possible to change. And this isn't the case. And when we talk about the community lens, when marriages lose that connection, you have to understand that families weaken. Kids grow up watching a cold relationship and thinking that this is what marriage actually is supposed to be. The community loses examples of strong, loving, present Muslim families. And when households weaken, the entire Ummah, believe it or not, feels it. And when we talk about the future lens, I need you to understand that if nothing changes, the distance turns into resentment. And the resentment eventually turns into separation of the heart. Even if the what do they call it? The couple, they still live in the same house. Many couples don't fall apart because of huge arguments. They fall apart because of quiet disconnection that was never addressed. And if you think I'm lying, you look at most of the households that we know. As a matter of fact, many of us can look into our own households and see that's where things fell apart. So what I want to ask you right now is, which one of these perspectives hits you the hardest? Is it the personal lens? Is it what I mentioned when we talked about the community lens? Or is it that which we talked about when we talked about the future lens? And now that we got that part out of the way, I want to talk about how this deals with, or how we see this play out in our real life or our everyday life. And we need to talk about this because many Muslims are living in this situation silently. Picture this. You come home after a long day. You're tired. They're tired. You barely even greet each other properly. Someone goes to their room. Someone stays in the living room scrolling. You eat at different times. You sleep at different times. Days pass where you barely share anything meaningful. Does it sound familiar? And you tell yourself, it's just life. But your heart knows that it really isn't supposed to be like this. Maybe you feel unseen. Maybe you feel unappreciated. Maybe you feel like every conversation turns into a disagreement. Or maybe you just reach the point where you stop trying because you feel like whatever efforts you put forth, they're not going to matter anyway. And for some of you, there's that quiet, that fear that we have. The fear that you might be married to the wrong person, or that you'll never feel that closeness again. And this reminds me of a story of a particular couple that, when they came to me, we realized through general conversation that the situation wasn't that there was no way to solve it. It was that they had been that way for so long that they felt as though it was hopeless, that it couldn't be solved because it didn't even matter anymore. So what I'm telling you is that this feeling that you may be feeling right now, it's not real. Those connections, as I mentioned earlier in the video, it can be brought back. That relationship can be revived. It was there at one point in time. Sometimes the hearts just need to be brought back together so that it remembers that feeling. And it's easy to jumpstart it. You just need to understand how. And this is the part in the video where I'm going to tell you how to go about doing this. I'm going to give you steps that I'm telling you, if you, just as I always tell you, for those of you who actually try these transformative steps that I give you every video, you see that I know what I'm talking about. This comes from years of experience in dealing with individuals and couples. I'm going to give you 7 steps today for you to take to get things back to where they need to be at. You just have to be willing to dedicate yourself into getting it done and putting your relationship back to where it needs to be. You understand? So I'm going to give you these steps right now. What I want you to do is the same thing I tell you all of the time. Make sure you have your pencil and paper out. Write these steps down. Again, for those of you who are new, the reason why I always say this, or I always tell you to write the steps down, is because even if you don't need these right now, you know other people that do. And 9 times out of 10, they confide in you. They talk to you. I'm giving you the steps not only to fix what you're going through, or you may be going through, but what they may be going through. So you can take and you can look back at your notes and you can give them what it is that they need. All right? So, what do you say we get started? So we're going to break this cycle with something simple, clear, and doable. All right, in terms of the first step, bring back presence. Get that down. You can't rebuild marriage without presence. Not physical presence, but I mean like an emotional presence. This means putting your phone down when your spouse is speaking to you. It means actually looking at them. It means noticing those small things again. Connection starts when presence returns. Believe that. And step 2, create one daily touch point. I said daily. You don't need 3-hour conversations. You need one intentional moment every single day. 5 to 10 minutes. Just check in where you ask each other one meaningful question. And if you can't think of any, I'm going to give you a couple examples. You can ask your spouse something like, what was the hardest part of your day? Or, what was one thing that made you smile today? Or, is there anything that is stressing you out that you want me to help you with? Believe me when I tell you that these small moments rebuild that bridge. And step 3, restore politeness. Not just politeness, but politeness and kindness. Many marriages lose kindness before they lose love. Think about that. Say thank you again. Say I appreciate you again. Say I'm sorry again. Basic manners are the fuel for long-term marriages. Step 4, reset expectations without blame. Now, without blame is so important. Sit down and talk about what you both need to feel that connection again. Don't sit down and discuss what the other person is failing at, but speak from your own heart. Say things, use phrases like, I miss talking with you. I want us to feel that closeness again. Can we figure this out together? This alone can shift the entire direction of the marriage. And step 5, rebuild your roles with clarity. Most roommate marriages happen because there's no structure, no defined roles, no teamwork. Everything becomes negotiations and arguments. Make the home a partnership again. And step 6, stop waiting for that other person to change. Just think about it. If you're waiting for them and they're waiting for you, this is how your marriage dies. Someone has to take that first step. Someone has to make the first move. And when one heart softens, generally the other one follows. Right? And step 7, and this is an important one, invite Allah back into the marriage. Connection grows when the heart is soft. And the heart softens with dua, with prayer, and with asking Allah to bring the mercy back between the two of you. Ask Allah to help rebuild the love the way that it was in the beginning. You know He's able to do so. He put it there to begin with. You need to know that that connection that you used to have, it's not lost forever. It just needs to be revived. All right? I do want to tell you, or I do want to say to you now that I've given you these steps, before you leave this video, I want to hear something from you. I want you to go down in the comment section right now and let me know, what do you feel is the biggest reason that marriages today slip into this roommate stage? And be honest. Remember that your answer just might help the next person that comes by and reads these statements or these comments. If you're serious about rebuilding your relationship and rebuilding yourself as well, then don't just watch this video silently. Join the Next Level Muslim community on Patreon. And welcome to the new Patreon members as well. That's where we go deeper, we build together, and we support one another in real time. Remember that the link is in the description. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. And don't forget to take that next step. Your marriage deserves it.